Namaste, good morning, and welcome to Online Morning Yoga with myself, Christopher Love. And this is my little opening discourse. Today, I want to talk about finding our neutral mind. I've talked about the neutral mind before, but not in a while. And the neutral mind is a very important part of our yogic practice, in that it's that place that we go to where we're not in a state of judgment or trying to interpret. We're just allowing ourselves to see things as they are. This is not easy. This is a cultivated practice. We're not taught to have a neutral mind. We're actually instructed how to have a very strong opinion about certain things, one way or the other. This is what our culture and enculturation have. We get strong opinions, and they are enforced in us, and we believe, until we become conscious of it, we believe that those opinions are facts or truth. But when we approach the world with a neutral mind, when we let go of all of our conditioned thoughts, when we come to that place where the mind is clear and perceiving things as they are, we understand that everything that we think about a situation, almost everything about it, is an interpretation. We're putting a layer on top of it that is our own personal interpretation and bias. If we can remove that and just see it as it is, it actually becomes something else, and we can deal with it differently. If you already assume something, and so now let's say you already assume that all Russian people are bad, just an assumption, because there's a war going on and they're the enemy, so they're bad. Then you meet a Russian person, and automatically in your mind, you have an obstacle to overcome because you think that person is bad. But the truth of the matter is, that person just happened to be born in Russia. Good, bad, or indifferent, that's up to them, or you'd have to get to know them to understand who they are. It's just an interpretation. It's just a bias that comes from the media, from family and friends, from school, based on a positionality that our culture holds. Is it true? It isn't true. It's just an opinion. Good and bad are often just opinions. They aren't absolute real things. Because something can be very good in 1 minute and very bad in the next. That's how it is. A nuclear power plant, very good in 1 minute, providing power for everybody around. Fabulous, environmentally more friendly than so many other options. One nuclear power plant, so much that goes on. A breakdown of that nuclear power plant causes a huge accident, major disaster, terrible thing, worst thing that's ever happened. Same thing, nuclear power plant. It's just a thing. What happens to it and how we interpret it, all of those judgments come in, and we label things like that. As soon as you jump to a conclusion and label something, instantly you have a label for what's going on. You aren't in your neutral mind. You're in your conditioned mind. You're already playing out the program that you've received. So find yourself, when you've made those leaps and you've jumped to a conclusion, try reeling yourself back in and asking yourself, is that really true? Just take a moment. And you might see that, well, maybe it's not as true as I thought. And then as you examine it, you become more aware that it's many layers of things, and that your initial interpretation may not be the only or the correct version. It's true. This is why we cultivate the neutral mind, so that we don't jump to conclusions and live our life based on assumptions. Instead, we come back to that center, we try to clear our mind, even if it's just for a moment, and see things just as they are. And then we can deal with it, moving it forward. We see it just as it is. This computer, it's just what it is. It's a device. It has lots of connections, communications. It's able to process information and share information over the internet. It can do all sorts of amazing things. But if I say this computer is good or this computer is bad, as soon as I make that judgment call, I'm not in my neutral mind. I'm making a judgment call. I'm declaring what this is, and I'm putting a whole bunch of interpretation onto it, just with one word. So think about that, how much one word can prejudice a whole thought about something. And return to that neutral mind. And maybe say nothing at all. Namaste, those of you on Facebook. Be well and have a wonderful day.